Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome again to another chill, laid back, relaxed end of the week live stream. Right. We are at the end of the week. Today's Friday. I hope you guys had a fantastic week, and I hope that you are ready for our live stream today, in which you are going to speak with me basically. So it will be just speaking with me. So just for you who are probably new here, so this is WooEnglish. Our channel is dedicated to learning English through stories. We believe the best way to learn English is through like being exposed to it first, and then you start internalizing. But we give you an opportunity to practice your English twice every week with us on this live stream, so you have a chance to practice your English with us. And today, our live stream, of course, is called "Speak with Me." So you're gonna be speaking with me, and all right. So this is, as I said, the title of the live stream. So let me go back. So as I said, today we'll be speaking with me. We'll be practicing what we have learned in our channel, and this is basically how things go in our channel. Ahsanol is here. Welcome, Ahsanol. I hope you are doing great. And I have some good news for you, Ahsanol. By the way, Amin was here last session, and he was looking for you. He wanna end his beef with you. He wanna compete with you again. So I hope he will be here too, and you guys will manage to compete together as you used to do. I really miss those days. Great. So as I said, for everybody today, we will have our live stream, and as I said, so I see more people joining here. So as I said, in these live streams, we just like to give you like a chance to practice what you have learned like during the week on the channel, and that's basically it. So let me very quickly. So Asadov says that beef is never ending. It's what was his word? It's it's an eternal beef, right? So how is life, Asanol? And how is life, everybody who is watching the live stream? How was your week? Um, I know you didn't ask yet, but my week is going very like the last couple of weeks were very stressful. I'm moving cities, like I'm moving from one city to another. Hamid is here. Hi, Hamid. How are you? It's been a while. It's been a while for you too. So as I said, I'm moving from one city in Morocco to another. So I'm starting a new life, and it's quite challenging. Of course, it's quite difficult, very stressful, especially with the packing and everything like that. So, but yeah, well, I will manage. No, don't worry. So yeah, as I said, how was your week? Great. Life is good. Can't complain. How is your? I remember you were in a literature, I think, or something related to language program, and then there is your engineering program. How is school? Did you finish your school year? Great, Hamid. I'm very happy to hear that. What about the rest of you guys watching? As I said, take this live stream as an opportunity, as a space in which you can practice your English. You can try to answer my questions like orally at home. Unfortunately, I will not be able to hear you, but you can also practice them in the chat, and I will be able to respond to you. I will be able to like interact with you and maybe correct if there is anything that needs to be corrected. So I always encourage you guys to like when I ask a question, you try and ask it and answer it like orally at your home. But as I said, I cannot hear you, so you can drop your answer in the chat and maybe you read it aloud at your home. Yes, I got my admission in English literature 17 days ago. How is it going? How is it going? And Ahsanul, I have a question for you, and for everybody watching who is still studying, or even if you are not studying, do you think about studying abroad, like outside of your country? I know a lot of you like need to go to another city to study. Maybe your city doesn't have a university. That was the case for me, at least. I didn't have a university in my city, so I had to move to another city in order to study. What about you guys? Do you need to go to another city, or do you think about going to another country? Would you go to another country to finish your studies, or if you have already done that, please let us share with us your opinion. Maybe you will benefit someone here. You will help someone here. All right. So let us, as you think about those questions about your week, I'm thinking about it. Great. So see, this is one answer. So Ahsanul, for example, is thinking about going abroad. Great. I think going abroad, going outside of your country, not just your city, that's a very very beneficial thing because it takes you out of your comfort zone, and you get exposed to a different culture, and you and most of the time, like when you are abroad, I think when you are outside of your comfort zone, you give more than 100% of your effort. Like you work very hard to fit in, of course, and to adapt to your new life and so on. All right. So let us start then our like live stream, and I want to start as we did last session with pronunciation. So the idea for people who are just joining, of course, the idea of Woo English, we give you videos every single day. You will listen to a video on our channel, and they are related to learning English. They are stories that you can use to learn English. So you listen to them, you expose yourself to them, and your brain will internalize a lot of words and a lot of structures from those videos, from the videos that we post every day. But we have two live streams like this one where you get to meet us face to face, and you get to interact with us, and you get to use what you have learned, and you get to practice your English, because you need, a lot of people say, well, I have no one to practice my English with. Well, you can come here and you can practice your English with us. This is Speak With Me practice. So you get to practice your English with us. You can practice this orally at home, or you can like type in the chat so that I can interact with you and you can speak some more. As I said, the first activity will be pronunciation, and the first exercise will be um, tongue twisters. All right, tongue twisters. Let's see. So Ahsanol says, I would like to go to the United Kingdom for my master's degree, and going to the world to there would be a better comfort zone for me because I have two of my sisters and their husband living there, and 7 uncles and 14 cousins. Oh wow, man! So your family already is there. So I think, yeah, I totally agree with you. I think you will adapt there very very easily, and I think you have a good chance to go there actually, since there are already people from your family there. So I best of luck, man, and I think you should. I absolutely think you should. You have the English, this like the perfect English to go there. I think you will do a great job there, and it will open a lot of doors for you there. All right. So the first exercise, you have this very simple sentence, 4 words. I want you to say it 3 times fast. So let me give you the example. Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. That's what you need to do. And if you find it difficult, you can read it slowly and then go faster and faster. Like I always say, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. And you go faster and faster with each time, right? So you can start easy, and this is a very important exercise. This is an important warm up for your mouth, especially when it comes to pronunciation. I know a lot of people, when they want to speak, their words get mixed together. They may mispronounce certain words. So this is a very good exercise if you have that problem. So the exercise, as I said, is very easy. You just read the sentences 3 times, but you try to do it fast. What's very interesting about tongue twisters is that the sounds in the words, in like tongue twisters, they are very similar to each other. So you will tend to mix them, right? So if you manage to say them correctly, that means that you can, like, your pronunciation, like your production of sounds is very good. So red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. You can notice how like it changes from R to L to R to Y to L again. So it like this change of sounds is very very good exercise for you. You can try to say it at home, as I said, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. and then you tell me in the chat how well did you do. Did you do well? Did you do poorly? Did you find it difficult? Did you find it easy? Give me your feedback in the chat about this first one because I have two more for you. And for number 2 and number 3, actually, I didn't even practice them at home myself. Thank you, but I don't have perfect. It's okay, man. It's okay. No, you do. Your English is very good, especially in written. I've never heard you speak, but I think your English is very good. So red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. Try to say it 3 times at home and tell me how did you do. This is a very good exercise for you. This is what we call in English articulation. So there is pronunciation and there is articulation. Articulation is how do you produce the sound. It's very important in English that when you are producing the sounds, like each sound is given like the right articulation, the right production. And this helps you very, very well in pronunciation. Like your pronunciation will improve so much if you manage this. Exactly, exactly. Most people will say exactly that. Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. So do it. Tell me in the chat, how did you do? What about Hamid? How did you do it? All right, let's move on to the second one. So let's try the second one now. Red rabbits run rapidly round rocks. Red rabbits run rapidly round rocks. Red rabbits run rapidly round rocks. It's very difficult because it has a lot of R's. And the R is, as we know, one of the most difficult sounds in English to produce. Red rabbits run rapidly round rocks. Red rabbits run rapidly round rocks. This is quite difficult even for me, to be honest. Red rabbits run rapidly round rocks. This is how I said you can manage it in the beginning. So in the beginning, if you can't produce it correctly, you can do it slow and then you can go faster and faster. Red rabbits run rapidly round rocks. Red rabbits run rapidly round rocks. You can do it even slower. Red rabbits run rapidly round rocks. 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 And then you can go faster and faster. I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes. Of course, again, you let me know how well did you do, and how did you find this one. I'm done. How was it? Did you do well, Arsenal? This second one is quite difficult actually compared to the first one. The first one was easy. Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. Nothing special. But for the second one, indeed, it's quite difficult, even for me. The third one is even more difficult. And the third one actually is related to a different type of sounds. So again, say this 3 times fast. Red rabbits run rapidly round rocks. Red rabbits run rapidly round rocks. I can do it slowly, but when I try it fast, I mess up. Yes, it's quite difficult actually, this one. So you say this sentence you can see above 3 times fast. Red rabbits run rapidly round rocks. Red rabbits run rapidly round rocks. Even for me, I think I'm misproducing the R's. It's quite difficult, this one. All right. Let's move to number 3 now. Okay. So this one is very difficult. I didn't even try it before, I swear. So, 15 flamingos fluttered fiercely. 15 flamingos fluttered fiercely. Fiercely. All right. Yeah. I'm making mistakes because I didn't do it. I didn't practice it. 15 flamingos fluttered fiercely. All right. I'm going to say it slow. 15 flamingos fluttered fiercely. 15 flamingos fluttered fiercely. 15 flamingos fluttered fiercely. All right, I think I did well. 15 flamingos fluttered fiercely. 15 flamingos fluttered fiercely. All right, yeah. I do mess up. This last one is very difficult. And also, if you notice, this last one plays on a different set of sounds. You can, by the way, like, you can go to Google and write something like this. Sorry. All right. You can go to Google if you want something like this, but for a specific sound that you have problem with, you can go to Google and write tongue twister for the letter R or for the letter ch or for the letter L or for the letter B. And Google will give you like tongue twisters that are special for practicing certain sounds, right, in English. So, for example, if you want to try the letters S and sh, you can use the most famous tongue twister. She sells seashells by the seashore. This is the most famous tongue twister, and it practices, or you practice, or you try to produce the sounds s and sh. So, for example, she sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. I did this one so well, or so much, that I can say it now very fast. She sells seashells by the seashore. Red rabbits run rapidly around rocks. Good. This one plays on the R, on the D, on the B as well, I think. But the last one that we are working on now is or practices the F sounds. 15 flamingos fluttered fiercely. 15 flamingos fluttered fiercely. Flutter is when they flap their wings. And flamingos are those like very fabulous pink and big birds. Like, you know them, very fabulous birds. Me be like, okay, let me check. Let me check. How do you be like? Because I can't see. All right. I need to check on my phone. All right. Yes, good. All right. So that was it for tongue twisters. As I said, we'll have a number of exercises today. The first exercise was about pronunciation. We'll move to the second one, which is also about pronunciation, but a different like lesson of pronunciation. So let's go. All right, good. Can you read the words on the screen, and tell me if you notice any difference between the pronunciation of the th? I'm not going to read the sounds. I'm not going to read the words. I will allow you guys to read the words and tell me if you notice any difference in the pronunciation of the th between the column on the right and the column on the left. Okay, let's keep it this way. By the way, guys, by the way, tell me please if everything is okay. The sound, the image, is everything okay for you? And I will really appreciate it if you could click that like button, or just double click on the screen, and that would help us so much. So if you can please just double click on the screen, and it that will be an automatic like. If you could just like double click on the screen. If you double click on the screen, something very magical will happen. I want you to discover it for yourself. Just double click on the screen. It's not magical for you, it's magical for us, of course. All right. So, tell me in the chat, is there a difference between the pronunciation of the th between the columns on the right, the columns on the left? Or is it pronounced as one sound? Is there a difference? All right, I'm gonna pronounce the first two sounds or the first two words. All right, so I have more people joining. So can you read these words at your home and try to tell me if there is any difference between the pronunciation of the th in between the colon on the right, the colon on the left? Let me see. So for ethanol, he says the left side sounds start from the top of the tongue. Both of them start from the top of the tongue, actually. Right? Yeah. That's not the difference, Mr. Ethanol. I mean, it's not here, unfortunately. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna read the first two letters or the first two words, and you tell me if you notice any difference. Thin, then. Thin, then. Do you notice any difference between the pronunciation of th? I'm sorry. From time to time, I will be muting myself because I'm coughing a lot. There you go. There you go. All right. So on the left of the screen, the sounds on the left of the screen are very close. The th is pronounced very close to t. So it's th, right? It's the t, but it's between the teeth. It's th, right? It's like the word teeth, right? Thin, think, thick, thumb, think. I'm gonna repeat the ones on the left. Thin, think, thick, thumb, think. Right? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? So the first th on the left is pronounced th. Now let's go for the right. It's pronounced the closer to the. So it's like the, but your tongue is between your teeth. It's the. So notice the difference between the first column, and the second column. So I'm gonna read the words on the second column. Then, this, that, them, though. So th in English is pronounced in two different ways. One is the and one is the. I'm gonna read now the first column again, so you can repeat after me at home. Thin, think, thick, thumb, think. I'm gonna repeat them now slowly. You can repeat with me at home. Thin, think, thumb, think. Now for the ones on the right, they are pronounced, the th is pronounced as that, right? So then, this, that, them, though. I'm gonna repeat one more time. So then, this, that, them, though. Right? So now I'm gonna read one on the left, one on the right. You can try that at home as well. Thin, then. Think, this. Thick, that. Thumb, them. Thank, though. So you can try that at home. I'm gonna give you like 13 seconds to do that exercise. The ones on the left are pronounced as the th is pronounced as the. The ones on the right, the th is pronounced as the. Right. So I'm gonna give you some time. You can try that at home. If you want me to repeat the pronunciation of any word, you can just write that in the chat. If you are done, tell me in the chat done. Write in the chat done so that I know that you did the exercise. When you are done, write done in the exercise so that I know that you did the activity. All right. Ahsan always done. But what about the others? Sorry, guys, I'm clearing my throat a lot. I have a very sore throat these days. All right. So, again, TH is pronounced in two different ways in English. The first one is the second one is the. Both these sounds, so the th is closer to t. And I hear a lot of people say, hey, thank you. Thank you is not a correct word in English. So we say thank you, right? So it's a t, but your tongue goes between your teeth. As for the, it's very similar to the, but your tongue again goes between your teeth. So th is pronounced in two different ways in English, the and the, right? So thin, then, think, this, thick, that, thumb, them, and thank, though. All right. Now, for the second exercise, which is related to the word the, right? This is the article, the definite article. I have no idea how my dad clears his throat. I know all dads do that. That's universal. The way that fathers clear their throats. For me, it's just like a temporary thing, just like for now. I don't do that all the time. My wife would kill me. All right, so um, again, so the and then. So, is the word is the article the pronounced in one way or pronounced in two different ways? But before we know that, please double click on the screen if you don't mind. I know I'm like disturbing you and interrupting your exercise, but please, before we go back to the exercise, make sure to double click on the screen. That's your way to help this channel. Our channel, of course, as I always remind, is dedicated to learning English through stories. We believe that's the best way. The best way, like Donald Trump says, this is the best way in which you can learn English is through exposure to very, very interesting content in English. So we give you one story every single day. And then, so you are internalizing, you are drinking English, you are like, you are, it's like a sponge. You are sucking English in, right? You are listening to English without knowing your brain is like internalizing all those words, all those structures, especially the ones that repeat every single day. And then on Tuesday and on Friday, like today, we have a live stream like this one you are watching now, where you can then vomit what you have learned, right? And that's what I want you to do. Exactly. That's all right. I love this. I love this. Make English great again. Make learning English great again. I love this. That's our new motto for sure. I like that. All right. So, yes, very good English, and you will learn the best English. We are the best, and our viewers are the best. We have the best stories in the world, or better than China and the channels that teach Chinese. Um, all right, so as I said, you will learn English through internalizing, and then we give you this chance on the live stream to practice what you learn. Even if you are not watching our channel on a daily basis, even if you are learning English on your own, like on your own time, you can still come to our live streams and you can practice your English with us. And this is the title of the live stream, Speak With Me. So I want you to speak with me at home. I cannot hear you, unfortunately, if you do that orally. So I will appreciate it if you can do it in written, because so far I have one person talking to me in the chat, and you can know how that like feels for me and Mr. Arsenal. We are the only people speaking here. It's like an echo chamber. It's like we are playing tennis with English. I speak with him, he speaks with me back. So I would love if more people hopped into the chat and share with us a conversation about what we're doing. So let's go back. So as I said, today we are practicing our pronunciation first. And then we will go to learn other things, right? We will practice our grammar. We will learn some new words. And then you will have like a chance to actually speak with me from your home. All right. So the word the, it's a definite article. When I say I saw the man, so the simply means that me and you know exactly the thing or the person that we are talking about. Can you give me the book? If I say the book, so this means that I'm talking about a specific book, not any book. So give me the pencil is very different from give me a pencil, right? Give me the pencil is not give me a pencil. Give me a pencil means give me any pencil. Give me the pencil, give me a specific one. So let's look at the pronunciation of the word the. Can you try to read number one and number one? Book and apple. Can you try to read the whole expression and tell me if you noticed any difference in the pronunciation of the word the? Did you notice any difference between in the pronunciation of the word the between like apple and all those words? Of course, if you noticed anything, don't forget to tell me what did you notice. I can't. All right. So I'm gonna tell you what you should notice here. So the first one is the book. The book. Very easy. Number one on the other side is the apple. The book, the apple. So the rule here actually is very simple. For the pronunciation of the, right, the article the definite article the. For the pronunciation of the definite article the, we pronounce it the when it is followed by a consonant. We pronounce the definite article the, we pronounce it the when it is followed by a vowel. And there is a difference between the two, right? So the book, the apple, right? I don't say the book, I say the book. But then for the other one, I say the apple. Number two, the cat, the orange, the dog, the elephant, the hat, the eyes, the pen, the egg, right? So I'm gonna repeat it again. For the definite article the in English, we pronounce it the when it's followed by a consonant. We pronounce it the when it's followed by a vowel. So I'm gonna read the first list on the left, or the first column on the left: the book, the cat, the dog, the hat, the pen. Now I'm gonna read the second column, which is on the right of the screen: the apple, the orange, the elephant, the ice, the egg. Now I'm gonna read one from the right, one from the left: the book, the apple, the cat, the orange, the dog, the elephant, the hat, the ice, the pen, the egg. Right? So that's how we pronounced the in English. So it's not pronounced in one way, right? Like a lot of people would do. It's pronounced in two different ways depending on what is the sound that follows it. Right, I'm just gonna check. Right, Mustafa, hello. All right, so let's move on to the second one, or to the next one. All right. Okay, so another pronunciation exercise. So far, hi Mustafa, how are you? Where are you from, by the way? By the way, so we talked so far about three different things. So we talked about the pronunciation of th, we talked about the pronunciation of the, and now we are going to talk about the pronunciation of ed, right? The ed that regular verbs end with in the past simple. Mustafa, how are you? All right. So, can you read again the following and tell me if you notice any difference in the pronunciation of the ed? There is actually a little difference, by the way. Egypt, but I work in Saudi Arabia. Wonderful. Wonderful, Mr. Mustafa. Is this your first time, Mustafa, watching our channel? All right, I'm gonna read them for you, and you tell me what do you notice. So, kissed, stopped, lived, played, needed, listed. I'm gonna repeat them again. So the sound or the letters ed that we put at the end of some verbs in the past simple are also not pronounced the same. They are not always pronounced the. So in the first column, we say kissed and stopped. So they are pronounced as t, as t. In the second one, lived, played, they are pronounced as a d, right? And in the last one, needed and listed, it is pronounced as id, not the, but id, right? First one is all right, wonderful, good. So Ahsan all noticed the same. I thought you dozed. I thought you fell asleep out of boredom. That's why I said the answer directly. People from X, how are you? And why aren't you sharing with us your thoughts? I've never seen a single message from people in from X. Of course, like the majority of people interact with us from YouTube. A lot of people interact with us from Facebook, but I rarely see people interact with us from X. Not rarely, never. Exactly. So when it comes to the letter ed that we put at the end of verbs in like of some verbs in the past simple, they are not pronounced the same. So when it is preceded, when it's like before it, I was typing when you were saying it's all right. Sorry for that. Sometimes there is a mismatch between me and you guys. Maybe I speak, maybe I move so fast while you are still typing. Maybe like you are watching like 2 minutes late. All right. So the first two sounds are pronounced, or the first two verbs is pronounced kissed with a t, and stopped, stopped, not stopped, not kissed. It's kissed and stopped. Number two, lived, played, right? And the last one, it's needed and listed. So that's basically how we pronounced ed in the past simple. And if you want the rule, basically the rule is that like with certain sounds like s and p and f, we pronounce it as t. With certain sounds like j, like v, like y, like we pronounce it as ed. And with words or with sounds with the sound d and t, we pronounce it as id. So I'm gonna read them again. You try to follow me at home. So kissed, stopped. I'm gonna repeat them again. Kissed, stopped. A lot of people pronounce them as kissed. No, it's kissed. Kissed, stopped. So the letter ed that we add at the end of verbs in like the past simple, they are not pronounced the same way in all the verbs. Number two, or the second line, lived, played. Please repeat after me at home. Don't be shy. And finally, needed and listed. Let's see them now. All right, so this is basically the rule, and I'm gonna allow you to take a screenshot here. So I'm gonna allow you to take a screenshot here, but you can remember them. When you take the screenshot, please tell me done in the chat. All right, wonderful. So please don't forget to click that like button down below. If you know someone who would love to join us, please go ahead and share with them the link to the live stream. So as I said, the word or the letters ed the suffix, as we call it in English, the suffix ed that we add at the end of some verbs. All right, I'm gonna repeat this so that I can clip it later on and make it short, so like we can keep on the channel. All right. So as I was saying, for the suffix ed that we add at the end of regular verbs like played, like enjoyed, like listened, this suffix is not pronounced the same in all the verbs. In some verbs like kissed and stopped is pronounced as a t. Kissed, stopped. In some other verbs like live and play, when we add ed, it's pronounced as d. Lived, played. On other words yet, or on other verbs yet, it is pronounced as id. Id is especially for verbs that end in t or d, so like needed and listed, right? So we pronounce it as d. So the suffix ed that we add at the end of verbs is pronounced in 3 different ways. Let's see this now in sentences, right? So I'm going to give you sentences here. Let me make myself smaller. All right, that's better. So can you read the following sentences, and please make sure to pronounce the words and pronounce the suffix ed especially in the correct manner. So I'm gonna read them. You can repeat after me. Or I'm gonna give you like a minute or two to pronounce them yourselves at home. So you can try and read them on your own. I'm gonna read them in a second for you. Of course, pay attention to the pronunciation of the words that end in ed, right? When it's red, it's t. When it's green, it's d. When it's yellow, it's id. Good, Ahsanul, good. I like what you did there. All right, so I'm gonna read the sentences, of course. Let me go back here. Ahsanul already did that for us. So she played the piano. So she played with the. They laughed at the story. So t. I wanted to sleep. So wanted, id, right? He enjoyed the show. And finally, we needed more time. Needed, right? Needed more time, right? I'm going to repeat them once more. You can repeat them after me. She played the piano. She played the piano. They laughed at the story. They laughed at the story. I wanted to sleep. I wanted to sleep. He enjoyed the show. He enjoyed the show. We needed more time. We needed more time. Great. So I hope you did well here, because we're gonna go now to some grammar. But before I'm gonna do some grammar, let me harass you again and tell you, please, can you like this video? Click that like button for us, or simply double click on the screen. And you can sleep well at night. I suck at grammar. No, you don't, man. You don't. So click the like button and you're gonna sleep well at night. Or don't click that like button, don't double click on the screen, and sleep with one eye open, as I always say. I don't know why my camera is very dark today. My camera is very dark. Okay, I think it's a little light now. Okay, good. I don't know what kind of magic I did, but all right, it's going again. This is okay. Thank you so much, Asamal. I know you always like our videos because I know that you are a student and you always want to sleep soundly. You don't want to sleep with one eye open like the rest of the people who don't like the video. All right, and people from X like the video. All right, grammar. Let's look at some grammar now. So let's see, Mr. Arsenal, Mr. I suck at grammar. Let's see how Mr. I suck at grammar will do at grammar. So let's go to the first exercise. Very easy, man. Very easy. What is the past form of the following verbs? This is the easiest thing that you can do. It's tell me the past form. All right, good. Yes, absolutely. So the first one, go, went, of course, like Mr. Arsenal here says. Come on, guys. Help Mr. Arsenal in the chat. Jump. What about jump? All right, absolutely. Yes. All right, so let's reveal the answer. All right, so went, jumped. Right, let me just make myself smaller here. Jumped, bought, cut, flew, swam. All right, number 4. I see that. No, well, for fled, Mr. Arsenal, for number 5, it's it's the verb flee, to flee the scene, for example, to like leave a scene very quickly. So so went, jumped, bought. Let's start with bought. Let's start with the bought, the verb bought, or the verb buy in the past simple. Can you give me any other verbs that change in the same way like buy? So buy, bought. Can you give me exactly? But this is fly, man. This is fly. All right. So as I said, can you give me some other verb that changes in the same way as buy? like buy, bought. Can you give me some word that changes in the same way? A verb that changes in the same way. Catch, catch. All right, yes, catch, caught. Absolutely, yes. Can you give me some other verbs that change in the past simple in the same way as buy? And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. For irregular verbs in English, the best way to memorize them, I see my camera is messed up. Let me drop the frames a little bit. Sorry for that, guys. And then I will finish my what I was saying. Right. I hope this will smoothen it a little bit. So what I was saying is that in English, for irregular verbs, the best way to learn them is to learn the verbs that change in the same way. What does that mean? For example, buy, bought. You need to learn them in categories. So buy, bought, catch, caught, teach, taught, think, thought. So all of these verbs, they change in the same way. And this is the best way to learn irregular verbs in English. I'm going to repeat this again. So the best way to learn irregular verbs in English is to learn them in categories, like in small categories, like verbs that change in the same way: buy, bought, catch, caught, teach, taught, think, thought, fight, fought. So all of these verbs, so that when you are in front of a verb and you want to conjugate it into the past simple, you say, well, it. So you are in front of the verb catch, and you say the verb catch changes in the same way as the verb buy. So buy, bought, that means catch, caught, right? So this is how you should learn verbs or irregular verbs in English. Okay, so cut. What about cut? So verbs that don't change in the past. Can you give me some verbs that don't change in the past? Verbs that don't change in the past with no change, like cut, cut. There are a lot of other verbs that don't change in the past, actually. All right? Any verbs that don't change in the past in English. And there are a lot, actually. Can't remember any. There are a lot, man. There are a lot of verbs that don't change in the past in English. So one of them is cut, of course. So cut. Cut doesn't change. Verb cut doesn't change. Cut stays cut in the past. I'm gonna give you one. Put. Right? Put. Put is a verb that doesn't change in the past. It stays the same. And mostly verbs like this that uh, that are like small verbs, like three letters or so, one syllable. They don't change in the past. Right? Don't forget, of course, to like the video. Okay, let's take another one. Let's take another one. All right, let's take the verb speak, spoke. Can you give me some other verbs that change in the same way as speak? So speak, spoke. Can you give me some other verbs that change in the same way? So speak, spoke. There are a lot, of course. I know you know a lot of verbs that change in the same way as speak and spoke. Can you think of any? So can you think of any verbs? that change in the same way in the past as the verb speak. Yes, speak, spoke. So can you give me another verb like that changes in the same way? I'm gonna repeat again the rule. So in English, it's very difficult to memorize and to remember all the irregular verbs. They are very difficult. They can be very challenging. So one way in which you can memorize or remember irregular verbs is to learn the verbs that change in the same way. So for example, buy, bought, catch, caught, teach, taught, fight, fought, think, thought. So all of these verbs in one category. So when you remember one verb in the category, you can remember the whole category. Verbs that don't change: cut, cut, put, put, fit, fit. Verbs that change, like speak. So speak, spoke. Mr. Arsenal says freeze, froze. Absolutely. Absolutely. Freeze, froze. Break, broke. Right? Break, broke. Steal, stole. Good. Yeah, we said it in at the same moment. So, steal, stole. Yes, absolutely. Steal, stole. Break, broke, as I said before. All right. Good. So let's move on. All right. Go already. This one. All right. Okay. Yes. So let's do this exercise. So this one is about oopsie. Oops. Sorry. Okay. So this one, I'm gonna do the second one actually, which is more interesting. Yeah, this one. All right. So are these words countable or uncountable in English? There is a little trick here. So, are these words countable or uncountable? And actually, this is very important to know if a verb is countable or if a noun is countable or uncountable. That's very important. Uncountable. Water is uncountable. I totally agree with you. We can't say one water, two waters, three waters, four waters. Absolutely. Sugar. Banana is countable, of course. I ate 2 bananas this morning. So countable or uncountable simply means, can we count that word? Can we count it? Can we say one water, two waters, three waters? Of course we can't. Can we say one banana, 2 bananas, 3 bananas? Of course we can. Can we say one sugar, two sugars, three sugars? Three uncountable. I can count it. Can you give me an example of how you can count sugar, Mr. Ahsanal? Can you give me how do you count sugar? I'm very interested. How do you know? How do you count sugar? Why do we need? Maybe some of you are wondering, why do we need to know? I have a machine, but the machine, what does it count? What does it count? What does it count? Does it count the sugar? One sugar, two sugars? Of course it won't. We can count sugar cubes. We can count grams of sugar, but we cannot count sugar itself. As a word, we cannot count it. So why do we need? A lot of you probably may be asking, why do we need to know if a word is countable or uncountable? But before we answer that question, let us see here. So, for example, we have the first one here. So, water is uncountable, banana is countable, sugar is uncountable, chair is countable. But Mr. Ahsanul, how does it count it? What does it count? Does it count the grams? Does it count the cubes? What does it count exactly? Chair, countable, of course. Money. The word money is uncountable. I can say I have a lot of money, but I cannot say I have two monies or three monies. Or can you give me five monies? I can't say that. Dollar. I can count dollars, of course. So currency, we can count currency. Advice. I cannot count advice. All right. Sugar count. Ah, yeah. No, I wanted to know. I'm very curious, to be honest. Why do we need them? We need them to with some words, for example, like for instance, a or n, a or n, the indefinite articles a and n. I saw a man. I saw an elephant. We never use them with uncountable nouns. We only use them with countable nouns. So we can never say I have a water. I have a money. Hey, can I have advice or an advice? We can't say that. We can, because these words are uncountable. uh, Also, like we can use them with quantifiers. So with countable nouns we use quantifiers like many. I have many bananas, or I have eaten so many bananas, or the class has so many chairs. But we can't say this place has so many waters. We can't say that. So these are some of the things that we use countable and uncountable words in. Am is our, well, shall can. What are you doing, man? Just spitting nonsense again in the chat. All right. Since the live stream, like, it's getting a little bit caught, I think I'm gonna stop here. So thank you so much, guys, for being here, for watching, and I will see you on another live stream on